Hey guys, today we're going to be comparing and ordering fractions. So our first problem that we're going to take a look at is 2/4 compared to 3/6. And the first thing that I notice is that my numerators are different and so are my denominators. But I also see that I can simplify both of these fractions. I know that 2 out of 4 is equivalent to 1 out of 2, or 1/2. And I also know that 3 out of 6 is also equivalent to 1 out of 2. So once I'm able to simplify these fractions to their simplest form, I see that they are equal. So 2/4 is equivalent to 3/6. The second problem I see is 1/2 compared to 9/10. Now this problem is a little different than the previous one because 1/2 is already in its simplest form. So now I'm going to see if I can scale it up or compare what 1/2 is out of 10. And I know that 1/2 compared to 10 is equivalent to 5 out of 10. So I can think of this in the same way as comparing 5/10 to 9/10. And I know that 9/10 is greater, so my inequality symbol will open to the greater value. So I'm going to take the same kind of thinking when I look at number 3. I see I have 1/6 compared to 1/3. I cannot simplify either of these down any further, but I see that I can take 1/3 and find what that is equivalent to out of 6. So 1/3 I know is equivalent to 2/6 because I can scale it up by 2. So now I'm comparing 1/6 with 2/6, and I know that 2/6 is greater, which means that 1/3 is greater than 1/6. Both of these previous problems that we've looked at, we've only had to really change one fraction to have a common denominator. Number 4, when we're comparing 3/4 to 5/9, it looks like we're going to have to change both. So I take a look at 4 and 9, and the only number, or their least common multiple, is 36. So I'm going to rewrite both 3/4 and 5/9 as equivalent fractions, but with a common denominator of 36. And for the first one, I see that to get from 4 to 36, I'm scaling up by 9. So 4 times 9 is 36. So 3 times 9 is 27. I'll take that same kind of thinking when I look at the next problem. So 9 to 36, I'm multiplying by 4, or I'm scaling up by 4, which means I'm also scaling 5 up by 4. And 5 times 4 is 20. So now I'm comparing 27 out of 36 to 20 out of 36. And I know that 27 out of 36 is more, that's greater, which tells me that 3/4 must be greater than 5/9. All right, so I want you at your table to try number 5 and number 6 on your own. So go ahead and pause this video, find a common denominator, and compare the two fractions. All right, so for number 5, 7/9 is greater than 3/8, which without even finding common denominators, I can reason and say, hey, 7/9 is closer to 1. 3/8 is farther from 1. So 7/9 must be greater. I can take that same kind of thinking into looking at 2/7 compared to 10/11. 10/11 is very, very, very close to 1 whole, and 2/7 is much closer to 0. Therefore, 10/11 must be greater.